Hey, I'm Jackie Bryan, and I call myself the Naughty Grammy. I have 6 adult children, and now I have 17 grandchildren, and I realize that's a kind of a staggering fact, but it is for real, and they are all adorable and beautiful, and I love to cook for them. I'm very passionate about food. I'm a certified raw food chef, so I tend to go to the side of healthy and nutritious, and what I pride myself in doing is taking foods that are everyday foods and adding a little something to them to make them a little extra nutritious and a little bit more fun to eat. When my grandchildren were little, this is a true confession, I used to actually whisper in their ears that just remember, I'm the naughty Grammy, because I didn't want to be one of those old stickler grandmas that was just no fun to be with. So we cook together and we spend time in the kitchen, and I truly enjoy that time, and I love preparing food for all of them and for my friends. I love to entertain, and I hope sometime I'll have an opportunity to cook for you. Thank you for watching this video. Hi, I'm Jackie Bryan, and I am a raw food chef, certified raw food chef. I'm also a mother of 6 and grandmother to 17 amazing grandchildren. I was raised in Southwest Louisiana, and so my food point of view is a little on the naughty side. I try to incorporate health and nutrition in everything that I do, but my family calls me the Naughty Grammy, and I guess that's why. So today I'm going to do a dish that I grew up eating and making in Louisiana, candied yams. It's that time of the year, and I think it'd be a fun dish for us to make together. So first of all, I'm going to share with you that, believe it or not, I was a member of 4-H as a little girl. And 4-H is an organization, for those of you who don't know, that teaches children mostly in rural areas about farming and sowing and things that you would typically see happening more out in the country. But I lived in town, and so of all things I chose to do crop judging. Here's what I learned about picking produce. This is a good yam. It's pretty regular in size. It's not lumpy or weirdly shaped. It's pretty consistent. So what you want to do is find that yam or fruit, whatever it is, that is the most common looking, and then you want to match it to some others that are about the same size. This yam has already been cooked, baked in the oven at 400 degrees for about an hour, but it's still pretty similar to the one that I haven't cooked. So you can see I've picked all the yams about the same size and same basic shape. So now I'm going to just show you, once you've baked that yam at 400 degrees and you've let it cool, I'll show you that the skin just peels right off. It's as easy as that. So I'm just going to peel this one real quick, and I'm going to show you how to arrange all the ingredients in the pan. And it's really a pretty simple dish, but the end result is delicious. And I don't think you'll have to fight to get kids to eat their sweet potatoes, which, as we know, yams are. And they are one of the more nutritious vegetables that we have. So it's kind of a primo dish. So first of all, what I do is I cut the yam in half, and then I cut it in quarters. And I've pre-buttered an 8x8 pan, and I just lay them across the bottom of the pan until the pan is full. I have a few more here that I've already baked. I'll just cut them and quarter them again, and I'm filling up the bottom. Once I have the bottom filled, then I'm going to start with the good stuff. So my ingredients, I layer across the potatoes. And my first ingredient, what else? Butter. So all melted, and I pour a little bit of butter over the top. And by the way, I use salted butter. I know in cooking you often see chefs say to use unsalted butter, but this is a really sweet dish, and the advantage of putting salted butter in is that it cuts a little bit of the sweetness, and you don't want it. Okay, so next, we've layered the potatoes, we put the first batch of butter on, and now we're sprinkling brown sugar over the top. And I'm using probably, I would say maybe a half cup brown sugar. So we want a pretty good little layer. And then we're going to pour a little bit of orange juice on. And that orange juice has enough acidity that, again, it cuts a little bit of the sweetness, and the combination of oranges and yams can't be beat. Then we're going to sprinkle a little bit of orange zest, because that really captures the flavor of the orange juice. And this is the zest of one orange, and I'm using the juice from that same orange, so we're really being efficient. And now we're going to sprinkle some chopped pecans. Isn't this just getting really silly, ridiculously delicious? So here we go with the pecans. And then we're going to sprinkle a combination of cinnamon, ground cloves, and nutmeg. And I've mixed them together. I'd say a teaspoon of cinnamon, maybe a quarter of a teaspoon of nutmeg, and about the same of the cloves, a quarter teaspoon. So we're sprinkling that over. You know, this doesn't have to really be in any order as long as you get it all in on that layer. And then the final touch is a mixture of honey and maple syrup, and I've used about a third of a cup of each. So we're going to pour a little bit of that over the top. And we are ready for our next layer. So again, we're just going to cut the yams in quarters very quickly and put our final layer on. I try to arrange them so that we have kind of all the space on the plate covered. We don't want any big gaps. And got all the yams down, and we're following with the same layering of butter, salted butter, melted, yum, and we have our orange juice, delicious, our brown sugar, so I'm hanging my hat on the fact that the yams are super nutritious, because there isn't anything else in this dish that's nutritious except maybe the nuts. And we've got our spices, cinnamon, nutmeg, and cloves. And then our grand finale with the orange zest sprinkled across the top. Now, we have different schools of thought on this last item. My grandkids just happen to really love marshmallows, so I happen to, oh, I almost forgot the pecans. Got the rest of the pecans on. So we put the rest of the pecans on, and I was about to say that my grandchildren love marshmallows, and I am not such a big fan of them, but I do usually sprinkle a few on the top just to satisfy them. And so, oh, and our last shot of maple syrup and honey. Here we go. Okay, now we put the marshmallows on. And you'll see I do it fairly sparingly because, again, it's just not my thing. But if they see them, they're happy. So I put enough on that they can spot them and get all tickled about it. So here we go. There's my final product. It's going to go in the oven at about, I would say maybe 375 for probably 45 minutes. And actually the marshmallows will help you with this because they will melt when it's just about done. And the yams are already cooked, so we're really just heating everything through and giving it a chance to absorb all the nice flavors. So I'll give you a little look when it comes out of the oven. Okay, great. So I'm back and here's the finished product. These represent truly delicious Southern candied yams. See what I mean about the marshmallows? They tell you it's done. Enjoy.